Hi students, in this video I'll be going through the 2023 O-Level Paper 1 question 5. Alright, so this question, as you can see, is a question relating to the solving of trigonometric equation. Alright, so the question goes cosine theta plus 4 sine theta. Okay, so let's write out the question first. So cosine theta plus 4 sine theta over 2 cosine theta plus sine theta is equals to cotangent theta. Right, so we are asked to solve for the values of theta for the range of theta between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. All right, so if you recall, negative pi over 2 is actually negative 90 degrees. All right, and then pi over 2 will of course be 90 degrees. So in other words, the angles that we are supposed to search for later, okay, will be from the fourth quadrant and the first quadrant. Okay, because if you recall, if you go negative pi over 2, right, then you will go in this direction. Okay, so this is negative pi over 2. All right, then we are going to search all the way from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. Then positive pi over 2 will be back in this direction. Okay, so later on when you are searching for the angles, okay, we need to be aware that these are the two quadrants that we need to look at. Okay, that means that, any angle in the second and third quadrant, we will not be taking that, right? Okay, so if you look at this equation, okay, so the first thing that you think about when you are solving trigo equation is what can we possibly do to proceed to the next step. Okay, so if you look at the left side, we have cosine theta plus 4 sine theta over 2 cosine theta plus sine theta. Okay, so if you look at this particular left side of the equation, there's nothing much that we can do, okay, to simplify the particular expression on the left side. Okay, so then we turn our focus to the right side, cotangent theta. Okay, so what can we possibly express cotangent theta as? Okay, so if you recall, cotangent theta is 1 over tangent theta. So if tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta, then cotangent theta we can express as cosine theta over sine theta, right? Okay, so let's do that first. Okay, so we're going to express cotangent theta as cosine theta over sine theta. Right, then you may be wondering, why do you want to do this? Okay, aren't we making this equation more complicated? Okay, but over here you can see that on the left side of the equation we have a fraction, right? So what we want to do is we want to eliminate the fraction. So by converting the right side to cosine theta over sine theta, we can prepare for cross multiplication. Okay, so what we can actually do is we can cross multiply over here first, and then we see based on the resulting equation, whether is there anything that we can simplify or not. Okay, so if we cross multiply, then we will get sine theta. Okay, so over here cosine theta plus 4 sine theta equals to cosine theta plus sine theta. All right. So from here, after cross multiplying, what we can do is we can expand into the brackets. Okay, so over here we'll get 4 sine square theta equals to 2 cosine square theta plus cosine theta sine theta. Okay, then based on this, we can see that we have two terms that are similar. Sine theta times cosine theta is the same as cosine theta times sine theta. Meaning if we were to bring this cosine theta times sine theta to the left side, then it will minus off with the one on the left side, all right? So then the sine theta and cosine theta terms will be gone. Okay, so that's basically what we want to do. Okay, so bring everything to the left side. Okay, so these two terms will essentially minus it away each other, right? So we'll just be left with, okay, 4 sine square theta minus 2 cosine square theta. All right. Okay, then based on this, how can we go about solving it? Okay, so there may be more than one way to solve this equation. Okay, but what I would like to do now is I want to use some trigo identity to convert this cosine square theta into a form which involves sine square theta, right? So that I can combine this whole thing together, right? So let's see what I'm going to do. Okay, but before that, I think we can divide everything by 2, okay, to make the numbers smaller. Okay, so we get this. Okay, so if you recall the identity, sine square theta plus cosine square theta is equals to 1. Okay, so I would like to replace away the cosine square theta, so I would do this, right? Right, so let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to replace the cosine square theta with 1 minus sine square theta equals to 0. Okay, so we end up with 3 sine square theta minus 1 equal to 0. Okay, so we're going to bring the minus 1 to the other side and divide by 3. So in other words, sine square theta will be equals to 1/3, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to square root both sides. So if you square root both sides, you get plus minus square root 1/3, right? Right, so we're going to find the basic angle now. So let alpha, if alpha is the basic angle, then sine alpha will be equals to square root 1/3, all right? So from here, if you calculate the basic angle, you should be able to get in terms of radians. So now we are working in terms of radians, 1548 radians. Okay, so we're going to get the basic angle as this. Okay, so if you look here, which quadrant do we search at? If you look at this part of the question, sine theta is plus minus. That means it's both positive and negative. So in other words, we will accept angles in all the 4 quadrants. Okay, but if you recall just now, we only need to search for the angles in the 4th quadrant and the 1st quadrant, right? So let's do it first. Do that. Okay, so if we search for the 4th quadrant one first, so we'll go for the negative one first. So we're going in, remember negative, we will go in this direction, right? So the basic angle, okay, the basic angle alpha is 0.61548. So over here we have alpha, okay, so 0.61548. Okay, and we want the 4th quadrant negative angle. So basically, it will just be negative 0.61548, right? Okay, so in other words, theta, the first value will be negative 0.61548. Okay, then we'll search for the one in the 1st quadrant. So 1st quadrant is very easy. The basic angle will be here. Okay, then the angle that we want will be here. So in other words, this basic angle is 1548. So the general angle that we want in the 1st quadrant will be the same as the basic angle, right? So 0.61548. Okay, so just round off to 3 sig fig, and then we are done with the question. Okay, so the 2 angles that we want is negative 0.615 radian and 0.615 radian. Okay, so these are the 2 answers for this question, right? So this is how you solve a trigo equation. So as you can see, it's a 6-mark question. There's a lot of marks involved, but definitely not a difficult question to manage. All right.